Police deny the unveiling of new non-lethal weapons is in response to criticism of the force for being weak on street violence. Brett McLeod says the high-tech guns and grenades could be put to use within days.
This is the first time weaponry of this type has been seen on Melbourne streets.
We're hoping that we never ever have to use that type of equipment here in Melbourne. We'd be naive to think that we shouldn't be preparing for that.
One is a compressed air gun that fires pepper balls and can also shoot out OC dust. A longer range rifle fires a squash ball-like projectile capable of knocking a person down. And there's a grenade that fires out rubber pellets.
Something that we would roll into a crowd that would explode. As I said, last case scenario, last thing we want to do.
100 members of the Operational Response Unit have so far been trained in the new weaponry, which will also allow offenders to be tagged.
The capability to use dye in these weapons, that if we hit certain offenders that we need to identify or arrest, we can mark them with these projectiles for easy identification.
Last week's Collingwood riot is just the latest time the force itself has come under fire for an ineffectual response to street violence. There was a sharp response to the accusation this demonstration is a publicity stunt.
It's rubbish, absolute rubbish. I mean, if you went back to the plans, we've been looking at this for years.
The new equipment is operational as of now, and police say there's a possibility it could be put to use by the end of the week. Right-wing British politician Nigel Farage is expected to draw protests when he speaks in Melbourne on Friday. Police say any repeat of clashes which accompanied firebrand Milo Yiannopoulos' tour will prompt the new weapons' use. Brett McLeod, 9 News.
Police have finally responded to public anger over a lack of gang violence arrests. A new range of powerful weapons will be deployed to help police bring a swift end to the brawls and riots.
The time has come for police to put this new weaponry to work. Training has been underway for more than 6 months. The deployment date comes less than a week after the riot at Collingwood, which left 7 people in hospital and none in custody. Force Command deny they are trying to counter public outcry with a publicity stunt.
I say it's rubbish. Absolute rubbish. I mean, if you went back to the plans, we've been looking at this for years.
But police are aware that protests and parties which have descended into shocking violence without anyone being charged have generated significant public anger.
I'm passionate about the community. I've heard what the community is saying and there's some angst.
The response is to equip riot police with rifles that can fire up to 175 rounds of pellets that can contain capsicum spray dust or dye to mark an offender. There's also a 40mm launcher that can hit a target from 50 metres, in addition to a rubber grenade which scatters smaller pellets within 10 metres.
So the short answer is we're hoping that the introduction of this equipment will actually reduce injuries.
The new weaponry could be in action by the weekend. The force is preparing for a protest over a public appearance on Friday night by right-wing British politician Nigel Farage. It's expected that the pellets containing the dye will result in more arrests. The force won't specify what circumstances will justify the use of the new weaponry, but it will be available for use at any hour of the day. Cameron Bowe, 7 News.